we got here the Houndmaster. It's for base defense only. I still see a lot of questions about what to put on what ship. Basically, I kind of let Kixeye dictate it, and I also let what I'm going to do dictate, because there's a lot of choices you have to make, and I believe that's where the biggest issue and being lost on what to put on it comes from, because you can't ask somebody what they do, because that's what works for them. So let's go over some of the basic stuff. I have this Houndmaster build. I already have one built, and I'm thinking about making another one a little bit different. But what I have on here may or may not be what I'm going to use. There might be some stuff I will use. It also depends on what the purpose is. And this one's going to have the mortars, because it's what it recommended. So top tier, I always say top tier. This is the top tier. Does more damage. Why it's got wall damage or building damage, I kind of puzzled about that, but that'll be for another video. So because it is mortar and it is explosives, we have some add-ons we can do, and I would recommend doing explosive and mortar stuff. You know, some people may want to put penetration or countermeasures, and you can do whatever you want. But when it comes to making a build of what you should do, you should probably go along with what the game wants you to do. Since this is for mortars, and I didn't realize there was only 4 weapon slots. I'm a little disappointed in that. But it is for explosive. So what I do, and then I see also too on the Kixeye build, they use this. Slightly older tech, but it's still tier 7, so it's a high tech. This increases the explosive damage, and as I mentioned before in my other videos, I used to be a mortar guy. I used to love the dreadnoughts when those came out. So I like explosive damage. So we're going to look at explosive. We're also going to look at splash. This does more splash. And because this ship, I believe, is to help prevent sniping and prepping, I want to do more splash, because I want to be able to get the ships that are just behind the other ships, because sometimes they don't have them all stacked. So I do believe this is a good choice. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. I don't know what we can do about that. I also seen this used. I use it. I know it's got building damage. Again, another video, but it's one of the few that has explosive damage 18%, which doesn't affect this. Usually you can only have one item at a time that increases explosive damage or increase speed, yada yada. This one doesn't conflict, so I'm going to add it, because this is going to do way more damage. As I was making this video, I thought about my other one had more range, because I want to see how it does for the beginning of the battle of my base. So I have that one out. Has a little less damage because of it, because of the scope, which was... Is he going to show it to me? Where's that scope? Oh yeah, there it is. See? Explosive, but it takes 15% of the damage away. Whatever. Okay. Also, on the Kixeye build, they had a different countermeasure. This one does more reload. The other one does 50% more reload. This one does 90%. I rather have that. So that's the basic thing that you go with. You can make your changes. You can add more of these if you want. If you're going to go ahead and skull it and you don't think you need that, you can add more. You have your own choice, and it also depends on what you're going to do with it. I can't stress that enough. So these are some of the options for the armor. Again, I always start with top tier, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the top tier. They like to come in with ballistics and breacher dreadnoughts. So if they come in with that, And if they can get in range of this ship, you may want to do, whoops, wrong one. You may want to do ballistic protection. Now, if they're not going to get to this ship, then you may not need the ballistic. And also, another key thing you need to think about is, if they do get in range of this ship, how damaged or how vulnerable is your outpost? Like, for example, if you have a breacher next to it, is it more important at that point to protect the Houndmaster that has a far range, not so much a close range, and then your outpost is still SOL? See what I'm saying? Because, like, if they get that close to this ship, chances are this ship is going to be near my outpost. If they get that close, I don't think I need it alive. But then again, you got to work with the Carnages. See, this thing also helps the Carnage. So that goes up in the air. But then again, they come in with Basilisks, so you may want to have more explosive because they can reach. And a lot of times they hit it, and there's a couple tricks I've seen with the subjugators too, or not the subjugators, the Basilisks, where they can make it reach and hit certain targets. There's some creative players out there, which is another video. So if you guys have a good build or a better build or different build, or you have a build, feel free to let me know, because I'd like to know how many players have a build and how many players don't have one. But anyways, the explosive may be something you want to do. And if you don't have this one, you have to make do with what you do have. If you do have this one, you want more explosive, then you may have to pick the tier 7 one if you're going to be getting hit by a lot of mortars or basilisks or anything with explosives, or howlers, if people are still using that. Also, as I mentioned, the subjugator penetration, because you got to figure out where you're going to get hit, and the subjugators have a good chain count on the UAVs, so you may need to protect this one, so that while the subjugator's in, they may have a basilisk on the outside. And I have seen some that have breachers on the outside, which nullifies pretty much the mortars on this. So that's how you pick the armor. You got to think about what ships are coming at you, what kind of players and what the players are doing. If they're from, like I mentioned in another video, if they're in the same alliance, it's going to be the same style of play. And of course you will have those exceptions to the rule, and there'll be those random players, what have you. So you got to figure out what your average is and what you feel comfortable with and what you enjoy. If you focus on the enjoyment of the game and what you enjoy about it, or what you like to see, or you want to have fun with, then the choices become easier. Yeah, so that just about covers it. Use the Kixeye build that you see from the store as a starting point if you'd like. What you want to do. I've gone over some things, and you can make the changes as you want. And also too, as new ships come out, or new players come out, or new features or weapons, there's all kinds of things that may change. Like the Siren and the Wardens are old tech and were pretty much obsolete. But now, because of the subjugators, people are being creative on using the Wardens and the Sirens, because you can add countermeasures for the UAVs. So now, depending on where you place those, it can help you out. Well, that just about covers all that. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, have a great and fantastic day. Enjoy the weekend when you get there.
Hey everybody, DJ Jekyll here. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time and you like what you're seeing and you want to be the first to get new information and new videos when they come live for you, make sure you hit that little subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified. And again, thank you guys so much. Let's get to that show.